What does one of my favorite childhood toys and the jacket from Old Navy that I'm wearing now have in common? You'll find out today on Tofer's Take. So if you know me, you know that I used to be a little bit of a pro wrestling fan. And the owner of the WWE, Vincent McMahon, is credited as saying perception is reality. You see, if people can perceive pro wrestling as actual sport, then in reality, for them, it becomes one. Now, I said this is the Old Navy jacket, and it is, but when I said that, most of you probably thought of the store Old Navy. And that's not quite what I meant. You see, this used to be my dad's jacket when he was in the Navy about 30 years ago. So it's an Old Navy jacket. And one of my friends said something earlier this week that got me curious, got me wondering, how people perceive us as Christians. How do people view us? Do they view us as somebody who's loving, kind, or caring? Or do they view us as self-righteous? Do they view us as hypocrites? Do they view us as the table that doesn't really tip well? And I think it's because of the hat, but I get asked a lot, dude, are you a magician? No, and I often tell them, no, I am not. And then, believe it or not, about half the time, the person has the audacity to ask, are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not a magician. I think I know that. And there's so many times, us Christians get a bad name for things we do or things we don't do. So I want you guys to take a second and pause and think. How are you representing Christ? How is Christ being perceived through your actions? Are you being a reflection of Him? Are you making other people want to imitate you as you imitate Christ? Or is the opposite true? Do people see you and find out you're a Christian and want to turn the other way because they don't want none of that? You see, people take one look at me and they're usually shocked and amazed to find out that I'm a Christian. I'm actually pretty serious in my faith. That I've taken the time to read the Bible and try to understand what it says. They take one look at me and they're like, that guy knows more about the Bible than I do? Really? And I just don't have the look of your normal Christian, which is cool, which is neither here nor there, but Jesus said some of the Pharisees, he said, quit judging me by my exterior and look at what I do and then make a decision. I wonder if the world looked at what we did as Christians, would that lead them to decide to follow Christ or not, or to run away from Him? Would that draw them into being Christian? Would they want some of what we got? Or would they just shake their head, say, you hypocrite, and walk away? And I'll admit, for years, I was in that group, that people would just look at me and be like, you hypocrite, and walk away. But I'll admit, for that time I was doing less good. I wasn't doing much good for the kingdom. I was very judgmental. I was very upset. But out of that judgmentalness, ironically came one of the nicknames that I got. But I'll talk more about that maybe another time. I just want you to, take a second and pause and think. Am I being transformed on the inside? Or am I just being conformed to the world? Funny thing, I intentionally meant to say the word transform because One of my favorite toys as a kid was the Transformers. You know, I love the fact that they could change. You know, people saw them as one thing and then they changed into another. You know, I think that's why we like superheroes as well, because we see, you know, Peter Parker and then he changes into Spider-Man. Or we see Clark Kent and then he changes into Superman. So that's what I want from you guys today. Is, do they perceive you as just a person or more? Or they perceive you as a messenger of Christ? And what can you do to change into the messenger of Christ that God has called you to be? Until next time, peace.